For everyone who's new here, my name's Ethan. Make sure you check out my website, ethanwrenn.com. From there, you can find links to all my various socials. We are currently live on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, so wherever you might be seeing this, make sure to follow and subscribe if you'd like to get notified when we go live next. On my website, I have a blog. Just go to ethanwrenn.com, top right-hand corner, click blog. You're going to be presented with a bunch of different articles. I'm constantly updating the website with new information pertaining to finance, ETFs, companies, gaming, emulation, technology. There's a bunch of great stuff on there, so I'm sure there's something that'll pique your interest, so make sure to check that out. Also, guys, I'd really appreciate if you come and subscribe on YouTube. I've been putting a lot of work into it. I'm constantly highlighting what we cover in these live streams and uploading it onto YouTube, so make sure to check that out. First thing we're going to be covering today is a video we made on September 15th, 2022. And when we made this video, it was the second time we had actually covered symbol PCG, which is Pacific Gas and Electric Co. Let's see what I had to say about symbol PCG back on September 15th, 2022. PCG, symbol PCG, as you can see, we're talking about it July 6th, very key date. If you watch some of our previous videos, you'll understand. What is it we saw interesting with PCG? Well, RSI bottoming out, pointing up, typically a bullish sign. Sentiment low. You want to be buying low, selling high, right? The idea is to get in at ground level before the spike in demand and volume and popularity and sentiment, right? That's how you invest. You want to be getting in before these waves. You want to get in before the product releases. You want to be getting in before the hype, buy the hype, sell the news type thing, right? MACD, oversold, super oversold, which presents a great opportunity to be buying in low. So let's look at it in trading view. Here we are. Boom. Now, I love this chart. This is a great chart. Again, these are monthly candles. Keep in mind the time frames. Always keep in mind the time frames when we're looking at these charts. You understand how long it might take for some of these investments to actually grow and appreciate and blossom into the wonderful tree that we're expecting them to be, right? So, as you can see, this company, ever since IPO, has actually shown signs of growth. Here we are, 2017, boom. It had a tough year. But, we can utilize this as a great opportunity to be getting a high-quality company at a very, very competitive cost, right? As you can see, this company has a history of running 176%, 153%, 400%, 100%. So it has ran these laps before, pretty good ranges, very tradable ranges. Its all-time high was roughly that $70.60 price point, with its lows being in that $8, $9, $10 price range, right? Right in here, even $12 if you're looking at these lows here in 2001. This company does not offer a dividend, but just like Tiva, as we were mentioning, the projection for potential growth is so large, we are not really too concerned that it doesn't have a dividend, right? Let's zoom in over here. If we look up right here at July, when we were talking about it, July, boom, right in this candle right here. From then, when we mentioned it in Discord, currently up over 30% on this singular position, up 30% in, what is that, 2.5 months? 2.5 months? Phenomenal. Most people would be very happy with 30% in 2.5 months. But this is only the beginning, guys. Make sure you are in the Discord. It's the best place to get a hold of me. I'm in there basically during market hours every day. So if you need me, that's where you can get a hold of me. Let's look at this company, right? And let's look at the financials. In 2017, they had a profit margin of 9.69%. 2018 and 2019, they went negative. Well, let's see how the market reacted to that. Here's 2017, 2018, 2019, boom. Those financials are what gave us this opportunity to be able to get into such a high-quality company at this price point, right? So we need to be appreciative that it happened. Since then, how has it been reacting, right? In 2021, -7, up over 30%. 25% from the previous year. Fantastic. And if you look at the revenue, this revenue is rebounding, right? And it's pointing up like it's growing over time. In 2020, it had a revenue of 18, and in 2021, it had a revenue of 20 billion. And then if we look at the profit margin, -0.43. So this is rebounding and showing growth. And we know that this company is capable of hitting profit margins in that 10% range. So earnings report should be solid moving forward. RSI, as we pointed out in Discord, just having been oversold, rebounding, and starting to point up and show signs of growth. These are all great signs. Where are we currently projecting this company to be heading? Well, we have our all-time high at around $70. That would make the potential growth in the range of 704%. Great company. I feel like I'm doing such a great job in the video outlining everything you would have needed to know for this company. That's why I'm not talking as much, but something I could add. Look at the S&P. The price of SPY and SPX back when I made this video was 406. Interesting. Need to be scaling into. As you can see, it also fared very well during the past 6 to 8 months, right? You can actually look on my YouTube channel. So there is a previous video about this company. Let's see if I can even... So what I was about to touch on is this video, again, was made September 11th, 2022, right? So this is right after that, having gone through one of the most turbulent years that we've seen in the stock market Here's a video of me from 11 months in roughly 10 years. So while the majority of the stock market had seen severe pullbacks throughout 2022, this symbol had actually grown throughout this period. And you're going to see this because I'm about to pull up a prior example where I had talked about PCG back in September 26th, 2021. Actually, April 10th, 2021. So back in August 10th, so I'm getting these dates all wrong. August 10th, 2021, we were talking about PCG. Great symbol, right? This was when markets were near their high back in 2021. Having gone through the entirety of 2022, where the majority of stocks saw severe losses, PCG managed to gain considerably throughout this time period with our previous recommendation. We then made a follow-up video in 2022 commenting on this, and that's where we're at. I'll let him finish. 11 months ago, right? Oh, you could even say a year ago. Only got 19 views. Nobody watched it, but it didn't matter. Even though the market had taken such a severe downturn over the past 6 months, right? Allowing us to get some of the best assets the market has to offer at some of the best prices possible. This company managed to maintain being positive through all of that. It maintained being positive. If you have companies like Coinbase down as much as like 90%, you have like Robinhood down as much as 80%. The markets have just been so tough over the past 6-7 months, right? But this company, again, that we were talking about here on YouTube, managed to maintain, not only not depreciate, but grew in that time. It grew, guys. Look at the price point. It was $8.98. That's up over 30%, guys. What were you doing? Nobody was hiding anything. It was right there in front of you the whole time. I'm going to give this like a minute or two. It's only a 4-minute video, so we're actually going to let this run real quick. And I think this frame pretty much says everything we need to see here, right? So he did a great job explaining why it is we saw value in this company, why it experienced this pullback in 2018, roughly 2019 time period. We explained that it was not our first time covering this symbol. In fact, we had covered it as far back as August 10th, 2021. And since then, the symbol had managed to grow 30%, give or take, while the S&P 500, for example, was down as much as 20%. That's a 50% differential between where your portfolio would have been had you held PCG or had you been invested in the S&P 500. Again, when you're looking at like watermarks and benchmarks and overlapping performance for given time periods. So let's see how PCG has fared since September 11th, 2022, all the way to where we are today, which is January 2024. As you can see, symbol PCG is currently at a price point of $16.90, hitting a high of $18.09. That is a gain of currently up as much as 90%, peaking out at roughly 103%, all the way back from our first video. Starting at $8.95. A year later, we came back. It was $12.89. And another year later, it's all the way up to $16.90. Since the last video, we've seen a gain of Since the last video, we've seen an additional 30%. Very nice. Again, compounding off the previous return. And if we want to look at a total return here, we'll go to the high because you've had 3 opportunities to potentially scale in or out at this price. So we'll do $102.4% divided by 890 days. It's a very long time, guys. It's a very, very long time. That gives us an annualized rate of return on this position of 41.43 for multiple years consecutively. This position has been performing phenomenal, extremely well, especially when you take into account the time period that this was unfolding during. Again, with year 2022 being represented right here, we could actually show a watermark here. Let's go for the beginning. We'll use a daily. And then if I come up here, I push the plus sign, S&P 500, same percent scale. During this time period, again, PCG currently up as much as 86.74%, while the S&P 500 would have only gained 9.94%. Again, a lot of those losses that the S&P 500 had experienced over that 2022 period helped kind of forge this differential between PCG's performance and the S&P 500. So I think this was an extremely successful trade. Something I wanted to recap on because we're almost covering PCG on a yearly basis now at this point. Again, PCG, when we originally made these two videos, did not offer a dividend. Now offers a dividend yield of 0.24. It's extremely low, so low that it's basically irrelevant, but it's better that they have it than they don't have it. And if you've seen other videos we've covered, companies that go from not offering dividends to offering dividends, or go from offering a dividend and increasing that dividend, tend to perform better than companies that go from offering a high dividend and lowering that dividend, or offering a dividend to not offering a dividend. So these are all good things that we like to see, and dividends do incentivize investors to hold. So very solid. We're going to move into our next bit of content, guys.